Hey, what's up guys, Mashin here, coming with a brand new video for you guys. The market's in a pretty significant decline. Today we're going to be giving you everything you need to know. However, the first area I want to talk about is the Paris capsules. Now, if you didn't know, the Paris 1 week tradable and marketable ban is up, so we're starting to see these capsules flood every single market possible. Now, this has given us a pretty interesting outlook, especially on buff, because we're starting to see these capsules decrease rather quickly, sitting at 18, 19, and 20 cents USD. It's definitely something that could be a little bit concerning if you don't watch through the whole video and understand why. The sponsor for today's video is SkinSwap. Now, SkinSwap is the premier place for CSGO skins and Rust skins. They've got a trading feature with highly competitive rates. They've got a super easy to use selling feature. And if you're looking to deposit today, you're going to be getting a 40% bonus on your deposit. And the best thing, if you sign up with the link in the description, you're going to be getting a free case worth up to $150. So what are you waiting for? Join today and fill all of your CSGO skin needs. Now, with the Paris capsule specifically, I'm not really too nervous, but it's just such an interesting event. If we want to look at past capsules, usually we're sitting at about a 60 to 65% ROI after sale, potentially even lower. But now we're starting to see extremely high ROIs. The number one ROI in the game right now is a Paris capsule, and it's so interesting because it's not what we expected at all. The Paris capsules themselves are seeming to be very desirable. A lot of the holos are extremely expensive, and some of them are even on the rise. And that's why, in my personal opinion, I think it's not a bad idea to think about selling off some of your Paris items if you do have them. I'm specifically looking at some of these holos, which are still keeping a really high price point when we want to take into consideration that these capsules are probably going to be on sale for months and they're going to keep on decreasing. We talked about it in a previous video, but basically, if we want to look at the glitters, they are staying low. And I think that's exactly what we're going to see with the holos given enough time. These holos right now are just increased demand, and that demand's going to fall off quite significantly if we see the sale lasting for a couple months. Now, obviously do what you want, but I will say the market that you're looking at, which is the capsule market, is extremely volatile because it's 100% dependent on hype in a very specific circumstance for some items. We can look at Stockholm and see just how quickly things can explode and just how quickly things can lose a lot of their value. However, heading back to this buff image right here, we can see that some of the capsules are going for 20 cents, and that's because the USD currency is not a great comparison. In a previous video, we talked about currencies. We're back with an updated version. Still is the euro losing out big time, paying about 27 cents. The Canadian currency is losing out slightly, paying about 26 cents. And we have a couple currencies that are coming in quite under budget. The first of which is going to be the Great British Pound. Then we've got the Norwegian, and then we've got the Australian. And finally, coming in for less than 23 cents a capsule is the Turkish currency, paying about 22.8 cents USD currently. What this means for you is you probably shouldn't be buying into any capsules right now, just because we can see there are margins and edges to be gained, and the problem can only get worse. It really can't get better, considering people can buy at this price point an infinite amount right now. However, we also got to talk about the overall market decrease. It's the whole topic of this video, and you can see that a lot of things are down quite significantly. The most notable is actually the rare cases. Now, when we talk about active cases here, you can see that most of them are down a decent amount in the past 2 weeks. However, this is what we expect. Whenever things are not going ideally, active duty cases are the most volatile. But the thing that's really shocked me is these rare cases have followed the exact same trend. Some of them decreasing just about as much, almost 25% for some rare cases in the past 2 weeks is the most drastic decrease you're going to be seeing for a lot of these rare cases in the shorter time period. That's because this is a very significant decrease. A lot of these cases, especially even some of the older ones, are still being hit quite hard. Look at the breakout case, under $6 when it was sitting at over $7.60 just a couple weeks ago. That's a massive decrease for one of the most stable and iconic cases inside of CSGO. Now, why these items are decreasing has to do with a couple different things. The first of which is going to be the sales. We got the summer sale and we got the Paris sale. Now, people are quick to write off the summer sale, but there's one thing they're forgetting about, and that's the Steam Deck. If you didn't know, the Steam Deck is currently on up to a 20% discount, and the Steam Deck is also one of the best ways to cash out your money if you know exactly what you're doing. That's because you can go ahead and take this and sell it on a third-party website and get a very significant amount of your money back. You combine that with the fact that we've also seen a little bit of confusion and possibly people getting scared of what Valve has been on the rise of lately, and it's definitely not a question as to why the market is decreasing. Combine that with the fact that we're in summer as well. Summer is traditionally the time when CSGO skins do go down, not specifically because of the summer sale, but just around the month of June and general, we see a massive decrease for some specific skins, and it seems like that has finally come around. Now, in my opinion, the absolute worst thing you can go ahead and do right now is just try and sell off some of your items. Just keep on to your items. Right now, selling is going to be very bad because of a couple different things. The first of which is you're going to be losing money just because these items are all at a low in the short term here. These items will recover in the long term, and it's most likely that you're going to have a very good opportunity to sell some of these at a high in just a couple months if we do see CS2 come out and a lot of hype return to this area. Selling right now is not going to be any benefit, especially if you're trying to invest into other investments. It's just not a smart business plan to try and sell out of one investment to pick up another. And depending on what items you're selling, like a lot of rare cases right now are down, but those are still very good long-term investments. If you're selling out of those to try and pick up some other things, I would highly go against it because rare cases are going to be a very strong asset in the long term. Now, on the opposite side of that, buying up some items could be a very smart purchase right now. We've obviously seen a decent amount of decreases all across the board, and rare cases are the one area, if we look at unboxing numbers, we can pretty much guarantee they are going to come back in price. I mean, the demand is still there. Obviously, the demand has fallen off a little bit. If we want to look at player numbers, they've actually gone down for the first time in like 7-8 months, but not significantly. Case numbers are down, but they're still higher than what they were in February of this year. Everything is slightly down, but it's much higher than what it was sitting at before the announcement of CS2. And that's one thing you do have to keep in the back of your mind. Even though the hype is not specifically in this area right now, that doesn't just mean overnight a lot of your investments became worthless or bad pickups even. A lot of these items fluctuate a ton throughout CSGO investing, and it's actually quite crucial that we see down periods in the market like this, where people have the option to go ahead and buy in. Now, if we want to look how to profit because of this, we can look at a couple different factors that might give us an insight. The first of which is what events have brought the market down, and we previously talked about that. First of which is the summer sale. Summer sale is already almost halfway done. It's not going to be decreasing the market much more because people have already sold off their items if they wanted to buy games. The next is the Paris sale, and the Paris sale is still ongoing and will be ongoing for months. However, we can look at the market and determine that if people were going to have to sell off some items to open up Paris capsules, they probably would have done so already. That doesn't mean that Paris is instantly going to lose all interest and these items are going to go right back up to their price point, but it's definitely something we need to consider, that a lot of people probably aren't selling their skins right now for Paris capsules. However, the last one is what matters the most, and that's the fact that you need to hold on to these items for time. The market isn't going to recover overnight, and when we see items decrease during the summer, generally speaking, it's because people don't hold on to these items. They sell them and they go ahead and use those funds elsewhere. If you're willing to put your funds into specific items, hold on to them for a couple months potentially, that's exactly where you're going to be making your profit. But that's all I got. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of the day.